The you problem with Dr. P is for informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Hi.
Good morning. Welcome to the You Problem. What's going on?
Well, I called in because I'm in a little bit of a transition time in terms of dating and relationships. I was married from 19 years old till 41. And so for 22 years
Mm-hmm.
and kind of ended in a, betrayal or, all the things. And then kind of went into what I call the hoe phase of, living my best life. Now I'm 51 and I've dated every F boy there is, athletes, bad boys, whatever. Total opposite of a marriage, and now
Sure.
I'm just kind of like, everybody is rushing me to, you need to get a boyfriend, you need to have a husband, you need to have a significant other. And so I just don't really know how to date healthy to attain that. And so sometimes I say I don't even want that, but I don't know. So I figured when I saw the you problem, I was like, it's definitely a me problem because I definitely have a pattern. So,
Well, thank you for ascribing to our motto. And by God, please subscribe. We would love to have you as part of our subscribers. However, let me ask you a question because you mentioned something that was really interesting to me, and I was already kind of thinking about it. Do you want to have a serious relationship? Or do you not want to have a serious relationship because you were married for a long time? It's not like you're out there in the world hoeing around and never got married. Not that there's anything wrong with
yeah.
that.
And it wasn't until I went on a date with a gentleman and he was prying me about being married. And he said, wow, that sounds like you had a successful marriage, And I was like, "Ugh." But I've done that. So like I don't see the like need to be married again. I've become so empowered. I've arrived, I feel like I'm in goddess, era now. But we all crave companionship and love. And I find that like every time I date these men with the ego, and then I get into these situationships, and it's like, well, yeah, it's casual. And then next thing you know, I'm like, my feelings are involved, and like, I don't know how that happens.
Well, it's pretty simple why that's happening. You were in a marriage that violated your trust and where you got played. So you went out there and you said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking play every fuckboy I can find out there to prove to myself that I can do it.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Like literally, like, but it's almost like I want to have a respect for men again. I want to have a trust for men again. I'm a good looking lady, but I'm 51 and I'm over here, messing around with a NFL guy or a, whatever. It's like,
An NFL
it doesn't,
guy?
yeah, I've had all kinds of these things that they're never really going to take me serious. And I think that's the main line. It's not so much about a committed monogamous relationship, but it's like wanting to be seen, my last situationship I'm just getting out of after a year and a half. I mean, it's like after the masks come down, he didn't have a car. He's a barber that wasn't making money. He this, that, and so then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna show up for you because you need a friend. But like in reality, that's not what I want.
But
You
you're
know what I
but
mean?
okay. So what you're really telling me is this. I wanted to be in control and I wanted to be the one in power. So I keep
Yeah.
picking these guys that I know that overall I'm smarter than they are. Overall, I know that I have more power. Overall, I know I can be the caretaker. Overall, I can do
Wow.
all these things and that way I'll never get hurt again.
Wow, you're good. Where'd you go to school?
Ha 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 ha! That's a
You are good.
military secret.
But yeah, like it was a control thing, and it's like you can't really be vulnerable to love if you're just trying to control the whole narrative of things.
No, you can't. But do you really want a relationship, or do you want a relationship because people are because there's a lot of freedom in what you have
Yeah,
done.
I've kind of arrived. I'm living by myself for the first time, in 30 years, post divorce and post raising kids and stuff, and I love that for myself. Um, do I want a relationship? I don't want one just to have one,
Uh
you
huh.
know? What I'm most afraid of is that I'll be in a monogamous relationship with somebody who's not. if that makes sense.
Sure.
Like it's like I don't trust to not get hurt again, I guess. I mean, I feel like I've been hurt my whole life, so what is that to be afraid of? I mean, that's what happens in love and friendships and things, but
Yeah.
deep down, I guess that's what I'm doing. I'm failing now.
No, you're not failing. You don't even know if you want a fucking relationship at this point. So you're not failing at anything. You're debating. You're
Well, like,
debating.
yeah, because I'm 51, so it's like I should be more serious. I'm not getting any younger. It's not all about the just,
I
but
am
I have lived.
insulted about the 51
I know.
Hulk. I'm completely and utterly
I know.
insulted by that. I think women
Okay.
and men, actually, as they age, they become more capable of making
Yeah.
good choices, and there is more
Yeah.
freedom, and it's almost like entering the second stage of your life. But now, I mean, I wish I could tell you, like, okay, let me give you a formula to find the right guy. Well, first of all, they need a car.
I know that was just a random
Yeah,
thing. I don't know.
they need a car, they need a job, they need to show up for work, they need to take the trash out, you know.
I've dated successful men too, but it's just this pattern of,
Yeah, but successful men, I know what you're saying about successful men. You're saying successful men who have a career and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there's plenty of successful men that still are dogs. And that's no insult to men. I love men. I am a married woman. I love men. They're very nice sometimes. But here's the thing, love. This is the cart before the horse. Because you still are not sure that you want to involve a stable, consistent relationship in your life.
yeah.
You have this idea that at 51, I should probably have my relationship shit together, and I should probably, and people keep telling me, maybe it's time, your kids are grown, oh my God, you're gonna be alone, blah, 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 blah. But you don't know yet. And we have to start by asking the right question. You have to start by saying, is that something that I want in my life? Because the truth is, there's people with bad relationships, there's people with good relationships, there's people with no relationships that are extremely happy and achieving in their own way. Do you want to involve a man in that? Maybe you do. If you do, you got to pick the right man. And perhaps the right man is a man that wants consistency as well, but does not want to be married either. I don't know. That could be a possibility.
Yeah.
But hurt, man, you can run, but you can't hide. It will come. It's not if, it's when. So if what you're trying to do is avoid getting hurt again, by avoiding intimacy, you're going to fail inevitably, because anyone we love is going to eventually hurt us, even if they don't mean to.
Yeah, I thought I had healed from that marriage, but I mean, obviously it's still shaping what I'm doing today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe there's more to deep dive into that, but
Maybe. I think that's why psychologists exist, but that's just like an off-the-cuff random guess.
yeah.
So the conversation that you're having with me, that likely feels safe to have with me because I'm like a voice on the radio, right? But I would like you to think about, sometimes we ask the wrong question. Sometimes the patient walks in asking a question that is not the fundamental question. And we have to dig through it and kind of go, wait a minute. This is not just about what you're bringing in. There's a deeper question here. And for me, where I could get you started is to go, until you decide if you want a man to be part of your life, in what capacity, and if you are ready, if that is the path you want to take, whether it's at 51, 52, 61, 65, it doesn't matter to me. But if you can't answer that question, then you're just going to keep picking people that either they're going to break your heart or you're going to fuck them up.
I do want a companion. I'm social, I'm sensual, I'm lively. I think I have a lot to offer.
You're terrified. I would challenge you to admit that you are terrified. And I hope that this was helpful, and I know that this is just a snippet, but you know more already than you called to ask. So I challenge you to just execute what you already know that you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that.
All right, love. Thank you for calling. Please subscribe, and hugs to you, and you'll see. You'll sort it out. You're in a shining moment of your life.
I am.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for your advice. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You have a great day.